Good morning. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Susan Long, and I'm an old friend of Debbie and Donnie and Matthew and Andrew. Our sons, Matthew and Andrew, and Nathan and Matt basically grew up together from kindergarten through high school. Their relationships evolved and changed as the years passed, which is normal. But when you get to the heart of it, Debbie and I were boy moms together. And we share a lot of stories and experiences with our sons. And I'm here to share a few of those with you today. I'm used to talking to large groups, but they're large groups of students, so please forgive me. I don't like to read, but I feel like this is very important, and I want to be very clear. Let me start by giving a little history. My oldest son, Nathan, and Matt Meyer were in the same kindergarten class at Alvin Elementary. Matt Long was 1 year behind the older brothers, and Andrew was 1 year behind Matt in school. And Debbie and I would often refer to your Matt, my Matt, so we wouldn't get the two Matts mixed up. The foursome quickly became fast and furious and fierce friends because they shared so many common interests together. And that's how my husband Tim and I came to know Debbie and Donnie. And as I said on the Facebook page, I've got tons of memories about Andrew. Andrew had, as the French often say, the joie de vivre, or joy of life. And we all saw that in the photos, and who could resist that impish grin? And he always had that twinkle and sparkle in his eye. Andrew was out for adventure. And I remember a story that Debbie shared with me about a family fishing trip. I was not personally there. Apparently she and Donnie and Matt and Andrew had gone fishing in the family boat, and as they were headed back home, she looked in the back and saw Andrew singing and talking to the dead bait shrimp. Do you remember telling me that? I don't know why that sticks in my head, because as I said, I wasn't even there, but I could just see Andrew doing something like that. He was that kind of child. Who knows? He may have been having his own little memorial service for the ones that sacrificed for the trip. Growing up, as I compare our boys, her Matt and my Matt really have very similar personalities, the laid-back, happy, chillin' kind of guy. And Nathan and Andrew were the more spirited ones. Please forgive me for being a little bit crude in your house, Lord, but they were the balls to the wall guys. Those were their personalities. And, you know, let's light our hair on fire and see what happens. And, of course, thankfully they never did that. I'm exaggerating, but there was always, you know, we're going for the gusto, we're swinging for the moon. And as their moms, we were always on the same page with that. Yet we never really had to talk about it. We just wanted them to experience and enjoy life and, of course, always be safe. And so we would pretend to scold them a little bit, but then we'd have to turn our heads and smile because we appreciated their sense of adventure. For example, after we built our house in Alvin, the Myers were some of the first people to pay us a visit. And I think the boys were in grade school, and Debbie and I visited for a long time, and then got time for her to leave. We couldn't find them anywhere. They had just disappeared. They weren't anywhere in the house. They weren't anywhere on the property. And I think we started honking the car horn to try to gather them in. And they showed up, and they were soaking wet and muddy. But in spite of the fact that we had a nice clean pool to swim in, they thought it'd be a lot more fun to go and swim in the irrigation canal behind the house. And another time, they rode their bicycles down the hill into the ditch just to pull them back up and ride them back down again. Those were just the type of boys that they were. They were out to enjoy life. And who can count the hours and the days and the weeks and the years that we spent at ballparks and golf courses, trips to the water park, family vacations, trick-or-treating expeditions, sleepovers, and meals together. The attitude and approach was not just my house is your house, but is my sons are your sons. And I remember when we took a trip to Rockport as families, we shared a 3-bedroom condo. And we gave the boys the master bedroom upstairs, and Tim and I and Debbie and Donnie took up residence in the smaller bedrooms downstairs. And I can remember, and I have pictures of the aftermath of a pillow fight one night. And I mean, this was a pillow fight to end all pillow fights. It was the mother of all pillow fights. And I can remember hearing them rumbling around upstairs. They sounded like a herd of horses. But we just let them go because we knew as long as we didn't hear anything shatter or see anybody fall past the window on their way into the boat canal, we knew they were just adding another memory to their logbook. As they grew up and entered high school, Andrew and my Matt and some of their friends, I think Michael McNeil was the getaway driver, decided it would be a really cool experience to lie down in the back of a pickup and drive through an automatic car wash at 2 in the morning while it was 30 degrees outside just to see what it felt like. And of course, we can't share these memories without talking about Dorothy. Dorothy did not just love her grandson, she reveled in them and in my sons as well. And she had that same kind of spirit, and that's probably who Andrew got it from, that adventurous, I'm going to enjoy everything I can. And of course, when we first heard the news about Andrew, we were just shocked and heartsick, as I know many of you were. And I started recollecting all my favorite memories, kind of like putting together a PowerPoint slideshow in your head. And in my mind's eye, I could see Andrew and Dorothy hanging out together in some heavenly ballpark or riding a cart together in some heavenly golf course. And that may seem kind of silly, but can't you just picture that? Andrew's not alone. And you know your mom's going to take care of him and keep him company until you can be together again. As a parent, I know in my heart it's the worst thing in the world to lose a child. And it doesn't matter how old they are. We're not supposed to outlive our children. It upsets and defies the natural order of things. But I also know and believe with all my heart that you will see Andrew again. It'll be a different time and place. But you will see him again. And Debbie, you'll be able to hug him and touch his cheek and hold his hand and share stories. And Matt, you'll have your buddy back to wrestle with and maybe play a few rounds of golf. Because people like Andrew never really die. Because they go on in our hearts, in our minds, because of the love and the wonderful memories that we've shared with them. And I'd like to close with a poem because I think it fits, and I think it might be something that Andrew might say to us. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awake in the morning's hush, I am the swift upflinging rush of quiet birds in circling flight. I am the soft starshine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. Andrew, thank you for all of the wonderful memories that you gave us and for just being you. You will be sorely missed, but we will see you again. Thank you.